Hey guys, welcome back to Men Reacts. As you can see, I changed to a little teal here to maybe calm my fucking nerves. But I have a special treat for you. I saw something really interesting on the Majority Report. I know I'd fucking hate watch it, but there is a video they have, and the title is Ex-Majority Report fan has opinions about the show, Jimmy Dore, Vaush, and Red Brown Alliance. Okay, I'm not really going to get into the video. This is the video. That's not really the part I want to talk about. Vaush is what I want to talk about, but here's why. So, the other day, an ex-fan calls in and says, hey, you guys have been talking about Vaush a lot. I just want you to know he's got white supremacist tendencies. He says the N-word all the time in private, on his streams, and at the end of when they're talking to the Majority Report, or this caller, let me just play this part.
Scorpio Vaush. I mean, honestly, like, this is so sniggly. And here's a guy who's like, I don't even listen to the show anymore, but I want to tell you what. All right, I gave you 16 minutes. You want people to search Scorpio Vaush? There it is.
Yeah, I mean,
search Scorpio Vaush. I mean,
okay, so at the end of that podcast, he said, you know what? If you want your viewers to see what the fuck I'm talking about, just search Scorpio Vaush, and then he couldn't get the rest of it out. Well, I found what he was talking about. But before we get to that, I wanted to show you Vaush's response to that caller, okay? And notice he cuts his video. This video is cut off before we get to that caller talking about this Scorpio Vaush video.
you know, their takes on stuff, because one of the functions of the show is to literally just mock the right. And
Nice.
Jimmy Dore was the first person I think that I ever even contemplated beginning to mock on the left, when it became clear to me that the guy was basically literally teaching his audience how to be stupid about politics.
Based. All right. Anyway, we're done with the self-aggrandizement for now, I think.
And that is right before we start seeing that guy say, hey, check out this video. Well, here is that video that they wanted you to see. And I'm not going to lie, some pretty good fucking ownage going on. So let's check this out.
I fucking hate the left. I despise you people so much. Not you guys, but like the left in general. You're all so bad at what you do. There's no fucking wonder we're
Not the
being
people
run
who
by
give me
fascists
money.
right now. You're so fucking incompetent. You guys can't defend any of your fucking positions. You have no idea how to efficaciously engage in coalition building or moving people over to the left. You have literally like no idea what you're doing. It's insane to me. I just have a sociology degree, and I watched Destiny for like a decade, and that's all the expertise it took for me to single-handedly be better than almost any other left tuber at doing the things that I want to do.
God, he is so fucking full of himself.
I started leaking. I don't care about logs and me saying the N-word or whatever. I say the N-word all the fucking time in fucking private. Like, fuck, I don't give a fuck about that shit.
Okay. Now, there are several questions here. There are several relevant questions that we need to unpack. Here's question number 1. Is it immoral for white people to use the N-word in private? So I've said this before. This is not new. This shouldn't be surprising to anyone who watches my content. I say the N-word sometimes in private. Because two people
Cringe.
here, this being Cormentine down here in the bottom left and Cole James Cash up here
You
at the
call
top
yourself
center.
a fucking progressive.
These two people kind of came in to take Destiny to task over his use of the N-word in private. I think this might be Cormentine, dude. Oh, we got all the fucking signs. Is this not Cormentine? That is Cormentine? Oh, hey, Cormentine. No way he's going to talk to somebody like me after his getting blown the fuck out by Destiny. No fucking way. It's baby! The really funny thing is, like...
Is it just me, or does it not seem like Vaush, like, has a mental disorder? Like, I mean... The only credible thing I've educated myself in... I've had general psychology and abnormal psychology, but... It seems like there is something wrong there. I don't know. I've never met him in person, but just his tendencies, like that thing he does, his mannerisms, that's the word I was looking for.
Like, Cormentine went after Destiny first, but I've said the N-word on stream way more than he has.
I feel like your reaction to your departnering towards Vaush, because I'm friends with Vaush, and I know that he respects you a lot.
I just think it's so fucking hilarious that Vaush has fucking clips out here being like, yeah, well, you know, in these cases, I think child porn is acceptable. And, like, Vaush fans be like, oh, hold on. Like, well, he didn't actually mean that, blah, blah, blah. Like, if we go deeper, he's talking about, like, if you exploit any children under capitalism, like, you might as well exploit them like a child porn. He's not saying it's good. He's just pointing out how bad capitalism is. He's a hyperbolic example. Or when it comes to, like, glassing Israel, like, well, he doesn't actually mean he wants Israel to be nuked, blah, 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 blah. Or when it comes to, well, he lived in Beverly Hills. He lived in the poor parts, okay? There's this his whole fan base is constantly, like, going to great lengths to explain and explore the context and the nuance around things that Vaush says, okay? Which is fine. I would expect him to do that. But then when a 16-second clip is released of me, and then they all go fucking apeshit thinking I'm this alt-right, white nationalist racist that wants every single black and BLM protester killed and assassinated in the streets, like, very clearly there is a bias against me there. To pretend that they all liked me and they were hoodwinked by this 16-second clip when they spend most of their lives fighting in favor of Vaush, I'm not buying it, dude.
Shit talk.
That's like people who are friends with Vaush being like, you're gonna call me a racist? He's a fucking racist. And he's my friend. Jesus Christ.
The dumb fuck lefties. I say these terminally online fucking dumbasses on the left. And I use the same terminology even. Terminally online dumb fuck lefties. That's generally what I call them. And I completely agree. These people have no idea what they're talking about. But that's why I had a lot of, obviously, you know, Riley Grace is in chat. You talked to her recently. She's very smart. But that's why I have a lot of respect for both you and Vaush. Ever brought up in Vaush's chat, if anyone's ever shit talking you, Vaush always says. Also, you guys, Hyena's saying that you guys weren't like friends. You guys were like acquaintances, but has said Destiny is good for the left. Destiny and I agree on like most pragmatic, forefront issues that are relevant today. You know, vote for Biden. Climate change is a big deal.
I don't know. Yeah, and Cyborg Lexi too. Cyborg Lexi moved me over. Damn, dude, all the people who moved me over are fucking not dudes. How do you define bad faith? Every time.
And this is like, again, that dude that was calling him racist, who's like also friends with him. Well, not, he's calling him more racist than him.
Because I think more of your intelligence than this. Watch your content for long enough to remember when you were better than this. I honestly think that your engagement with the online left is... Online leftists are fucking stupid. I get more of their shit than you do now. If you don't want people who are intimidated by you to talk to you, then you lose out on a lot of content.
There's nothing fragile about what I do. Just come on. Do you want to talk about it on stream?
Do you want to talk about it? Yeah, right. People look at you like your whole flex is like people. I'm the bad guy. People are cowardly. Like they don't want to come on.
Do you
and
think
talk to
because
you.
Okay, wait. I feel like we're running in circles right now, and it's really, really difficult. I feel like I'm being gaslit, like unironically. Fucking pussy. Come on stream and call me a crap. Step up, my dude. If any of these pussies ever want to come on and actually talk to me rather than
You gaslighting motherfucker. He has that girl on there, and she's like, well, I mean, to even get here was kind of a thing because you are so aggressive with people about trying to get online. And he's like, what do you... I feel like I'm going crazy here because you're here. And then now here's all these clips of him being like, fucking pussy. Bet you won't, pussy.
circle jerking in their echo chambers. They're absolutely free too. I love hard conversations. That's my favorite stir in the world. I love them. They make me feel so good.
Okay, all right.
Wait, what?
So there's a world.
So this, I'm pretty sure some of this starts to get into Destiny too. So, I mean, really, they're one and the same flock, right?
Word, and it's called. I don't even know if it's racist, but it's the G word. What is that?
Just say,
I'll give you the G.
Actually, I've seen this part, and I don't even have any input on this because I've literally never even heard this word before.
Times in his chat against me while we were talking about it, and he defended it explicitly in our conversation.
So evidently, Gusano is a racial slur. I've never heard that word ever used, ever. Again, I just don't have any input just because I have no knowledge.
It's not like the N-word at all, for one. But like, so let's say I'm arguing with someone on Twitter. I find out they're American. I call them a Yankee, a ghoul, a baby murderer, whatever. I'm not. I might be using as you defined, a slur, but is it an ethnic slur? Is it a racial slur? Obviously not.
What? If I had to vote in an Iowa caucus right now, like if it was my caucus.
This fucking gets me right here. This is February 7th, 2020. Keep that shit in mind. Remember what was going on February 7th, right?
Worst.
I think if it came time for it to be my caucus, I'd probably do a bit more reading. It would probably be Warren. I think would be the one who I would back, or maybe Biden.
A status.
Bernie was doing so good in the race at this point. Remember that.
Forward.
Oh.
What?
Why Biden? Just curiosity. I'm easily influenced, so maybe you can bring me back.
I think I was okay with most things under the idea of like what Obama did and the direction that Hillary wanted to go. Biden seems to be represents a continuation in that direction. And then Warren would probably be a little bit more progressive in terms of her policies, which I think I would like. The idea of entirely dismantling the ACA and trying to push through something completely new is not something I'm too thrilled about.
What? You fucking Republican?
I know that Pete is more progressive than Biden. If Pete was like 50, I might support Pete. The thing that worries me about Pete, from just purely from a policy point of view, I like Pete and everything that he said. But
oh my God, bro. Hearing anybody say, I like Pete and everything he said, makes me want to fucking throw up.
But Pete is like he's so new to politics, and his track record thus far is not that good. So it's really hard to say like the direction that he would go. Like I just don't have enough data on Pete to
insert every corporate dim politician ever.
Feel confident about like his direction. It's my problem with Pete right now. Actually, I haven't heard Bloomberg say anything stupid though. Maybe I would actually support Bloomberg. I don't know. Actually, Bloomberg seems like a...
Who are you? Oh my God! Notice that he hasn't brought up Bernie not fucking once. Not once.
Pretty chill dude.
Murderers and murder victims fit one MO. You can just take the description, Xerox it, and pass it out to all the cops. They are male minorities, 15 to 25. That's true in New York. It's true in virtually every city. And
I didn't even follow politics as hard then as I do now, and I knew that. I knew that Bloomberg had said all that. How could you fucking not? Destiny. Bro. God damn. You fucking cringe ass.
that's where the real crime is. You've got to get the guns out of the hands of the people that get killed. So you want to spend the money, put a lot of cops in the street, put those cops where the crime is, which means in the minority neighborhoods. So it's one of the unintended consequences is people say, oh my God, you are arresting kids for marijuana that are all minorities. Yes, that's true. Why? Because we put all the cops in the minority neighborhoods. Yes, that's true. Why we do it? Because that's where all the crime is. And the way you get the guns out of the kids' hands is to throw them against the wall and frisk them. And then they say, oh, I don't want to get caught, so they don't bring the gun. They still have a gun, but they
come back. There is this business. It's a couple of one newspaper and one news service. They just keep saying, oh, it's a disproportionate percentage of a particular ethnic group. That may be, but it's not a disproportionate percentage of those who witnesses and victims describe as committing the murder. In that case, incidentally, I think we disproportionately stop whites too much and minorities too little.
You don't want Bernie? You pretty much mentioned everybody but Bernie. Do you not like Bernie?
I don't like almost any of Bernie's policies, unfortunately. I would take Bernie over Trump in a heartbeat, but Bernie
You agree with everything that fucking Pete Buttigieg says, but you don't like any of Bernie policies? Yo, get the fuck off YouTube, bro.
goes so far left on some things that it's just too much.
Like what?
Like national rent control is not something I'm a big fan of. Federal jobs guarantees and the Green New Deal is not something I'm a big fan of. I don't think he has the political capital to get anything remotely similar to Medicare for All passed. I think that's way too extreme right now, so I'm not really a big fan of that.
Grifter. Absolute grifter.
I'm not a big fan of
exactly.
Rent control is where if you have a building and you rent it out for a certain dollar amount, you're not allowed to raise the rent past a certain percentage each year. That's determined by the state or federal government.
There's a lot of states that are already rent controlled.
Some states are already like that, though, right?
Yeah, some states have rent control, yeah. But the idea is that it disincentivizes reinvestment into property. It causes a lot of properties that are rental properties to be converted to condos and sold, and it disincentivizes the...
There's not a lot of evidence out there to support that he's correct on that. In the states that there is rent control, there's plenty of incentive to build.
Construction of new property, because why the fuck would you build property if you can't have the rent reflect the actual price of the unit?
It's not like the rent control comes in there and says, okay, you can only charge $500 a month. Come on, man. You're a fucking idiot.
Interesting. What about universal, what about free education or public?
Oh, that's something that I also like Pete's stance on more.
What position issue do you
I don't
think
like
changed the most on since the 2016
I don't
election?
think I'm not sure if education should be free. It sounds good, and I thought about this a lot in the past, where I thought it should be free. The more I think about it, like college degrees are actually.
Fuck it. Let's start charging middle schoolers. If you don't think education shouldn't be free. I mean, you're in 4th grade, but give me $5 and you ain't getting in, bro. How fucking dumb.
Like so insanely fucking valuable. Like if you have $80,000 in debt, but you're earning, like 3 times whatever you would have with a high school degree, I don't know if it's necessarily a bad thing that you have to pay that debt back. Like if your earnings potential is increased massively, like that's an investment that you make in your education, and now you have it, and now it's fine to pay it back. I don't know how I feel.
It's a fair point that there is a disparaging income between high school education and collegiate education. Even if the job that you're in doesn't really require the education that you attained.
Feel about the idea like, oh no, it should all be like debt forgiveness or whatever. Like, well, why the fuck should we forgive the debt of some guy that's making like 70, 80K a year now because he got his comp sci degree? Like,
but 80,000 like student debt.
That's like saying, why should people who make $100,000 a year collectively be able to take their kids to public school? Aren't you then segregating like a part of the country? Just make it free for everybody. The same argument for medical care. Don't exclude anybody. Don't exclude anybody from it. Because when you exclude people, you're pinning them against the system. There's no need for that. Just put everybody in it. If they don't need it, they won't use it. If they need it, it'll be there. That's the fucking point.
That is like just ridiculous. Like it's insanity.
Yeah,
like,
but so
how
is the
much
wage
tuition
premium.
costs.
Yeah, but the wage premium conferred to college degrees holders is like really fucking ridiculous too. Like the median income I think of a person with some high school is like $31,000 a year. The median income of somebody with a 4-year bachelor's is like $56,000 a year. It's
Okay, the difference of that is 20,000, right? Now, what if you have a degree that costs $100,000, and say the market you got into isn't really paying like it should, like every fucking job market there is? So now what? You think to be on the same playing field, even though someone spent 2 to 4 years extra in their education, like you think that they should carry the financial burden forever? No. The burden is the time that it takes to get the degree. That's the thing that you're proving. That's the thing that you're working for. You know, just it doesn't make any sense to be against that. Why don't you want a smarter country? Why don't you want everyone to have the same opportunity in education? We give it to, kindergarten through 12th. What is the real big difference in extending that? You see what I'm saying? I mean, these people act like it would really break the fucking system to be able to do that. No, it wouldn't.
insane. You almost double your earnings potential.
But you don't have a favorite candidate right now. It sounds like that's me.
I mean, like, Pete says shit that sounds okay, but like the problem is that like I'm pretty moderate.
Fucking Pete.
Politically, like I'm much more politically woke now than I used to be. Like I used to be like a full like national polls, federal projects, and that's it. And not.
Bro, did he just say I'm more politically woke right after he just said I like what Pete Buttigieg has to say? Oh my God, you're like a skit. If you were trying to be funny, I would like it's funny, but you're serious.
I care about like district to district shit, but now like paying attention to that more. I've moved so much on that over the past couple of years. Like I cringe at how hard I shit on Hillary in the past, and then I see like the political strategy that I was just blind to in the past. Like really bothers me at how naive I was. So like seeing that now, like I'm very much in favor of more moderated approaches to things because it's how you actually get things done. But like the only candidate that represents that right now, you've got Biden, who seems like his brain could fall out of his ear at any moment, and then Pete, who.
You'd literally rather vote for a dude whose brain could fall out of his ear at any moment than give Bernie Sanders any fucking credibility for becoming president when he's been fighting for the same progressive shit for 30, 40 years? What?
Who's very young and has a kind of questionable record, and I just don't have much to judge him by because of how young and how the gaffes he's made so far in his short political career. Like,
how can you sit there and say that Pete Buttigieg isn't old enough for you to really determine that, and here Bernie Sanders is a goddamn crypt keeper who's fucking been doing this shit for 30, 40 years. Don't get me wrong, Bernie's kind of fucking. He's got the right spirit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he could have done a lot of different things. He could have won, but he's got the right spirit.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's rough. I don't know. Like, I don't feel like I don't have a good moderate candidate to pick out of.
Or you. And like, because you kind of came to prominence at the same time, like BreadTube, like the bigger ones came to prominence as you started tearing down a lot of these alt-right figures, right? Like going on the kill stream and debating fucking all those people. You, somebody that likes you quite a lot. Been watching Destiny again. I've watched Destiny nonstop for the last like 3 years. Okay, so that. Who are you rooting for? I'm rooting for Vaush. He's the imposter. Pretty consistently speaks positive.
I'm pretty sure this is the Xanderhall guy. I don't even know who the fuck that is, but man, this this video is pretty good. That's pretty much it, you guys. But I want to give a shout out to Scorpio. I'm actually gonna link the original video in the description. And fucking wow, man. It's funny how Vaush. Let me go back here. I want to show you guys where you saw all the clips about where Vaush was like, yeah, I use the N-word. I use the N-word more than Destiny. Fuck, I use it in private. I use it all the time. I don't care. Okay.
Where your response to this is to say, well, I've used the N-word. You know, I adore
Lordy stuff, and I'm not.
Because every perception that he has of me is borne out entirely from like the deliberate consumption of misinformation, you know?
It's right here. Sorry, I think
No, the slogan for
I love listening to stuff like this because I can see like every misunderstood talking point, every half remembered like 20-second video clip that they exclusively saw from like from like a different like from some hate watcher like clipping me and stuff. Yeah, it's so funny. That if I talked to this guy, I bet you like in 15 minutes this guy would break down. This guy would have like an actual breakdown.
He's so fucking full of himself.
Because every perception that he has of me is borne out entirely from like the deliberate consumption of misinformation, you know?
Now remember, the guy that's on the TMR's podcast is the one who suggested that video, but got cut off before he could really give the whole video. Now I showed you guys the video. Now this is Vaush responding to TMR's podcast. Again, he leaves out the complete part where the guy's suggesting people go find that video on purpose because it's a fucking bomb. Jesus Christ. Vaush is a fucking imposter. Straight up. I know that guy was saying it in reference to the game, but in real life, IRL, Vaush, as fucking dumbass Cedar would say it. I'll link this video too down in the description so you guys can see it. I'm not gonna roll through all of this, but I really just wanted to show you guys at least the main gist of the other one. And again, I'll link that video down in the description. Hopefully my audio is better this time. I forget who it was, but somebody said your audio went tits up this time. They were fucking right though. Just trying to figure out this OBS stuff. But thank you guys again, and thank you guys for the support. Subscribers just keep going up. Appreciate you guys. I want to keep doing this for you dudes. So I'll see you next time. Peace.